Hey, what up, everybody? I don't have a lot of space on my phone. I'm almost up to my 64 gigs. So I'm just going to make this really quick, okay? Cryptoids. I have been endowed with information. I'm just going to come out and say it, okay? Cryptoids. Bigfoot. Star Wars. Chewbacca. Bigfoot. Get it? Training film. Everybody knows these things that is got intellect, okay? The government has slowly induced this stuff into our mindset so we can slowly get accommodated or acquainted with these phenomena. I mean, why do you think the first kind of spaceships that ever showed up just happened to look like round UFOs? Because a lot of UFOs are round, cylindrical, okay? So just throw Project Blue Book in the trash. It's meaningless. Don't suck up all the information on YouTube that you hear just because it's on YouTube. And I'm on YouTube, but you don't have to listen to me. Um, I can tell you right now, these creatures, it's like when you let your dog out of the car to take a leak or shit, okay? The UFOs, they come by, they let Bigfoot out, and it doesn't just, take a shit and a piss. It does what it wants and freely. And it's kind of it is being monitored. So it's like 99% of the time you're not going to be able to approach a Bigfoot, okay? Because it's being monitored. Has caretakers, okay? And there's a multiplex of caretakers. There's all kinds of different beings. These beings share genetics with us. They share genetics from other parts of the galaxy. They share, possible intelligent life form relationships with beings that are in other dimensions. Okay, it just goes on and on and on. You won't be able to wrap your head around it. Okay, I mean, I've had things happen in my life that I can never, ever, ever, ever explain, but for some reason or other, it feels like somebody downloaded information to me. Okay, and it's not hard to figure out that anti-gravity is already being utilized. Rocket technology is outdated. Elon Musk is basically a shill to make everyone think we're still using rockets and we're going to go to Mars. It's all bullshit, okay? He's just a shill, okay? And if we do use rockets to go to Mars, it's only because the information about anti-grav and everything else, they want to keep all that under wraps, okay? We do have a space command, okay? The space command, is acknowledged, but how far the space command is with other creatures and other beings, that's completely unknown. We don't have a clue about that, okay? And by the way, they don't use the same kind of technologies that we use, so you're not going to be picking up their transmissions because they're so sophisticated, you would not be able to have a clue how they use and communicate through dimensions, other galaxies, within this galaxy. And the cryptoids, they can come and go. They can't get shot. They can't get killed. Once in a while, though, there's a glitch, and their caretakers may not be monitoring them perfectly, and somebody may actually walk up on one. Okay, but the reason why they look scary, like Bigfoot does, is to prevent people from trying to approach them. Okay, they are given a scent, on purpose so that they smell offensive. Because who wants to walk towards an offensive smelling huge being? Nobody. Okay, now if you shoot at a Bigfoot, the bullet is just it'll probably vaporize, with a quarter out of the barrel. I mean, literally. You cannot kill a Bigfoot. Anyone who tells you otherwise is full of shit. I have seen a Chupacabra or something that may be related to a Chupacabra. Okay, I have definitely seen one. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was definitely freaking not a wild turkey. It had a bulbous head, a pot belly, and it ran with legs like humans run, but it had opposing knees. Okay, so another thing is I've had so many things happen that are unexplainable that I must have been endowed with this information for a reason, okay? Like one time I dropped a coffee cup. It was a big, heavy mug. and it was falling, and I panicked because I saw my cat just walked underneath it. It was going to hit my cat's head. Guess what? It stopped that far from my cat's head, kept kind of twisting like it was when it was falling, but it didn't fall on my cat's head. It rolled away from my cat's head. My cat was oblivious, didn't even know that I dropped the coffee cup, and it would have been hit had whatever intervened not happened. So you can call them guardian angels. I just call them the others. And when I say the others, it's a multiplex. You can't wrap your head around how many different cryptoids there are. You can't shoot them. You can't kill them. They are more or less workers, pets, of certain extraterrestrials. And I do believe most of those particular extraterrestrials are maybe more inner solar, but have the capability to go outer solar from time to time. But they're the ones that have the Bigfoots, the Chupacabras, the pets, and stuff like that. They're rogue. They're more like biker gangs in the view of the higher intellect extraterrestrials that travel throughout the galaxy and have ability to go through other dimensions. The creatures that come from other dimensions, they have communications with the beings that are from this dimension. This particular galaxy was universe rather was actually didn't start from the Big Bang. It was here before, but it was more or less a giant organism. Then there was a huge luminal, extraordinarily huge, I would only be able to explain it as a static burst. It sterilized everything, and that's why everything in our universe has a vacuum. And kind of like Mount St. Helens, when it first blew off, everything around it was dead. 25 years later, stuff started growing back. That's the state of our universe as it stands right now. Things are starting to come back. We got stars that are in, billions of planets that could possibly be Earth-like and stuff already. So, look, I have been endowed with this information. I don't care what the fuck you think. I'm not making anything up. This stuff has been implanted in my brain. I mean, I was at a pond one time, and I put a rock down after I saw a little baby snake, and it rolled back into its little hole, stood up. Next thing I know, I'm in the middle of the woods. In the middle of the woods, I don't know how the fuck I got there. I almost fell over from a catastrophic panic attack because I don't know how the fuck I got there. I was standing at the pond. All of a sudden, I'm in the middle of the woods. I'm lost. It took me 3 hours to find my dad's country house he was building. And I couldn't hear his hammering after I ended up in the woods. So yeah, I've been picked up by them, whatever they are, those creatures. Who knows how many different kinds there are. And then the Men in Black, they go all the way back to the Templars. And the Templars had technology. The UFOs themselves, especially the rogue ones, the ones that are a lot more like biker gangs, they break a lot of rules. They break down a lot. Their UFOs break down a lot. They have been. Over time. And there's been warfare between them over our atmosphere. So way back in time, UFOs have gone down. Secret societies have gathered the information or the objects up the best they could, secreted them away. And the Ark of the Covenant, that is one piece of technology that was used to bring down the walls of Jericho. And that's why hardly anyone could really feel safe carrying it around because they didn't know what the fuck they were dealing with, okay? But some people figured out that there was an ability for it to do certain things. They figured it out, and that's how they brought the walls of Jericho down. Okay, so God exists, but he's a shot caller. That's all he is. He's a shot caller. He's the big guy around our area. He's the one in charge of genetic reforming of all the creatures. They probably got a bunch of creatures on standby in case they decide to terraform Earth, which would probably come in the form of another flood or something like that, just to kind of wash everything clean. They do that from time to time, okay? And Mars was the first one. Mars was the first one they terraformed, okay? But some other extraterrestrials came around. They didn't like it. They blew it to fucking shit. And the only beings that survived were inside, and the moon is definitely artificial. The moon is a spaceship. Its job is to basically, it's our caretaker in itself. The moon is our caretaker. although the weapons to protect Earth are on Earth. Yes, some meteors have hit us before in the past. Certain things have gotten through and hit the planet. And all the craters are on the moon. If you look at them, they don't go like this. They go like this. That's because they can't go too far down because the fucking thing's artificial. And that's when they crashed the Apollo craft into the moon and it rang for hours. It's because the thing is artificial inside. It's got, a patina, well, not a patina, a dust covering, kind of a camouflage, if you will. But any smart extraterrestrial knows exactly what it is. All right. So Mars, if you look at the craters on Mars, they're not like that. So it's an actual physical body and mass. There might be a lot of inside bases inside it and stuff like that in certain areas and stuff by now. But it was destroyed at one time and they had to start all over from scratch. So they did it here. But they have a lot of creatures that are in what I call other partial dimensions, and they're on standby for other planets. Their job is to bring them to other planets, populate them, and then give tours, literally, to other creatures that don't know anything about this galaxy and stuff like that.